The storm arrived with a brutal, deafening roar. Hurricane Melissa has slammed into Jamaica, a nation accustomed to nature's fury, yet still blindsided by an event of unprecedented destructive force. Sustained winds are clocked at a terrifying 185 miles per hour, 295 kilometers per hour. It made landfall near New Hope on the southwestern coast with the primal energy of a record-shattering Category 5 storm. This is not standard weather. This is a full-scale elemental assault. It ranks among the strongest hurricanes ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin. Jamaica's southwestern parish of St. Elizabeth has endured the absolute worst of the impact. Floodwater surged in from every direction, swallowing low-lying communities as structures buckled and collapsed under the relentless wind and rain. Vast neighborhoods now lie submerged. Hospital roofs were violently stripped away by the storm's fury. The entire island was instantly plunged into darkness. Over 500,000 people are now without power. Officials have confirmed at least 3 fatalities in Jamaica, and fear that number is certain to climb. With thousands homeless, countless structures ruined, and vital infrastructure failing, rescue teams are attempting to operate amidst the very same treacherous conditions that triggered this disaster. The impossible terrain and deep floodwaters are severely impeding access, halting critical rescue operations. The floodwaters pose chilling, hidden threats. Beyond the swift, dangerous currents and deep inundation, authorities are issuing urgent warnings about displaced wildlife, specifically crocodiles dragged from their usual habitats into newly flooded areas. While these risks always accompany major storms, the scale of this deluge means the range of dangers has exponentially multiplied. The agricultural sector and road networks have been brutally savaged. Jamaica's essential breadbasket regions, particularly St. Elizabeth, where the majority of the nation's food is cultivated, are now completely submerged or utterly demolished. Entire fields of crops lie irredeemably ruined. Storage and equipment structures have been swept away. The roads vital for linking farms to markets are now obstructed or simply non-existent, creating immediate, dire challenges for both emergency relief and long-term food stability. The Prime Minister officially declared this disaster far worse than anything Jamaica has endured for generations. Beyond the visible destruction, the psychological toll is profound. Entire coastal communities, built on tourism and agriculture, have been catapulted into utter chaos. Tourism infrastructure suffered damage, leaving travelers stranded and severely shaking the capacity of the nation's key service industry. Evacuation orders were issued for low-lying zones, and shelters reached capacity rapidly. But facing a storm of this magnitude, contingency planning only provides limited defense. Meteorologists and climate scientists are linking Melissa's explosive, rapid intensification and catastrophic power to a larger, disturbing trend. Rising ocean temperatures, sluggish steering currents, and an increasingly unstable atmospheric environment are significantly boosting the probability of such severe storms. The fact that Melissa has equaled destructive records set decades ago underscores the truly extreme nature of this event. As Melissa finally tracks away from Jamaica, moving toward eastern Cuba and the Bahamas, the island is far from safe. The wind and rain may finally be subsiding, but the monumental task of cleanup and recovery has only just started. Damage assessments will be painstakingly slow. Critically, compromised infrastructure could still fail in the coming days. floodwaters will continue to inundate inland areas. Landslides pose an ongoing risk, and fragile power and communication networks remain unreliable. Global aid efforts are starting to mobilize. The government has urgently requested external assistance, and humanitarian organizations are rapidly preparing shipments of food, water, shelter, and medical supplies. For Jamaica's 2.8 million residents, the focus for the next few days remains firmly on survival, resilience, and beginning the arduous process of rebuilding. We see neighbors helping neighbors, local shelters getting vital supplies out, and crews starting to clear major roads. Yet far deeper, critical questions are emerging. How can communities be made strong enough to withstand this new class of storm? The ultimate price of inaction would be unacceptable. On the ground, local crews are operating in near total darkness. In the flooded towns, residents wade through submerged streets. Trees have slammed into residences. Vehicles are stacked and tangled beneath downed power lines. Roofs and entire homes have been swept away. Hospitals are relying on backup power or are completely blacked out. Communications are fragile and intermittent, leaving many island communities entirely isolated. Authorities report that in some high-risk areas, only the most essential emergency personnel were able to stay put as the storm passed. Despite the overwhelming chaos, a clear sense of urgency and hope prevails. Volunteers and emergency teams are immediately mobilizing relief efforts. Temporary shelters are being rapidly established in secure zones. The government has officially credited preemptive evacuation orders with saving lives, confirming that many citizens responsibly followed the warnings. Over the coming days, the true devastating scope of the catastrophe will be fully revealed. The count of physically damaged homes is only the start. The hidden long-term losses, the breakdown of livelihoods, the destruction of crops, the crippled infrastructure will plague the nation long after the winds subside. Road networks face a massive rebuilding effort. Power grids need immediate restoration, and countless homes must be reconstructed. For farmers, this loss signifies months of zero income. For families, it means months spent in transitional, temporary shelters. Jamaica now faces not merely a storm's residue, but a profound national test of resilience. The entire nation must unite. The government and civil society are tasked with rising to meet the challenge, and international partners must provide swift, decisive, and effective support. The path ahead is immense. Restoring basic essentials, rebuilding housing, reigniting the local economy, and fundamentally adapting for a future where catastrophic storms like Melissa may become a frightening new norm.